Jamie Hepburn was supposed to be joining us today. He's the Minister of Scotland Parliament. Unfortunately, due to Parliament being in recess, he couldn't make it, but he sends his best wishes to us, which is really great. And it also gives me a couple of extra minutes. So I'm quite happy about that. What today is all about, not only is to share with you what we've been doing and what our plans are for the future, but it's an opportunity for us to share experiences, to network, and hopefully be able to take back some really useful and interesting techniques that we can all use to make a difference back in our own businesses. So, on that note, I think Jenny, you sort of briefly introduced me, but I'd like to introduce myself. So I'm Joe Mansell. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Harbour Co and Go-Centric. I joined David back in September last year, not so long ago, and I've had the great privilege and pleasure to work with some fantastic companies during my career. Coca-Cola, AstraZeneca, GE, latterly Santander, BP. I could go on. But the reason for saying that is those companies had something all massively in common. They had huge customer centricity. They were massive brands, and brand loyalty was everything. So if you just take Coca-Cola, for example, what is it about Coca-Cola? Wherever you go in the world, you know the brand of Coca-Cola. And we probably all had one on the beach. Open that can, and you know what? It's going to taste the same. It's consistent. It's consistency that creates the loyalty. And that's what we like. And that's what we rely on with brands. I met my husband, that's good, helpful, at Coca-Cola. And do you know what? He introduces himself as, wherever we go, he says, I put bubbles in Coca-Cola. He's an engineer, by the way. But his job title, as far as he's concerned, is he puts bubbles in Coca-Cola. Don't ever go to a supermarket with my husband. We have to go down the pop aisle, as I call it, and we look at the labels. Oh yes, exciting. Just to make sure they're level. And if they're not, he looks at the back of it, he knows exactly which factory it's been made in and what line. How sad are we? But he's an employee of Coca-Cola. He lives and breathes that brand. And that's why brands are really important. So, moving on a little bit, I thought I'd share with you a personal story, because this is all about personal experiences tonight. We can learn from each other. So when I went to work for Santander, I was asked, along with the Director General, to set up a wholly owned subsidiary of Santander. It had actually a very clever model, and this was after the banking crisis, when the regulators were all over the banks like a rash, making sure everything was ordered correctly and there was enough capital reserves, etc. So what they did was set up wholly owned subsidiaries of themselves and outsourced to themselves on what they deemed to be non-core banking activities. So we set up a customer service back office solution called, at the time, it was called Geoban, which became Santander Operations. It started with 500 people. And it was at the time where Santander took over the UK. They bought Abbey National, Bradford and Bingley, Alliance and Leicester, GE. So you've got 4 different companies coming together. And then even within that, into a new organisation. It was horrible. You probably all remember Santander were rated at the bottom of every single league table. Martin Lewis hated us. Which report condemned us? It had failed banking ratings. I cannot tell you how bad the morale was. Absence levels were through the roof. Attrition levels were, let's not even talk about those. So there's the problem statement. 5 years later, so by the way, I went in as the HR director to set this organisation up, along with the Director General. I like to spoil a good story, so I'm going to tell you the ending before I tell you what we did. The ending fight, well, literally just before I left, was an organisation of thousands, tens of thousands nearly. It's now rated, if anybody's got a 123 card or 123 account, I know there's other people from banking here, sorry, but I think you would now agree it's rated one of the best. Martin Lewis loves us. You even get the odd good review from the Daily Mail. The odd one, obviously. But service was fantastic. AAA rated for risk. Employee engagement was double-fold. And it was all about how we set that organisation up. And now I'm going to let you into the secret. It was that. It was about high-performance culture. It was about how do you get your people to believe in your customers. And the only way of doing that is to treat your people right. So we put our people at the heart of the organisation, created a high-performance culture. All of the things we did in HR, and I call them things, because they're things we have to have, policies, practices, processes, procedures, they all support and cannot be in disharmony with any of the other things that sit around the sides, and all they do is hold the heart together. They're underpinned by the values of the organisation, with leadership cutting right to the heart of the organisation to make the difference. And the three most important things, equally balanced in an organisation, is trust, respect, and probably for me the most important is belief. Belief in what you're doing, belief in how you're doing, and get your people to believe. That's called the vision, the clarity of the vision. That's what makes the difference. So, here at go-centric, we've rebranded because branding to us is more than just colours. It's about the people, and it's about what we do, how we behave, how we're seen to behave, so our people can deal with our customers and in the right way. I came and joined this business, and I can recall it now. I was on a beach in September. I just left Santander, and I get this call from David. Joe, where are you? I went, I'm on the beach, David. It's called a holiday. He went, when are you coming back? I said, why? He said, I've just gone and bought myself a contact centre. Can you help me? I went, well, give me another 5 days to get back home, and yes, I will. And that's where the story begins. David bought this company because he saw significant talent, a strong customer client base with long established relationships and skills and capabilities to be the best. So what we're doing is we are growing this high performance culture because we believe this is fundamental to the way our people will treat your customers. And we will have the highest performing organisation, because I've spent my career trying to assess and establish what a successful organisation is. And for me, it starts and ends with people and the culture you create. So, I hope you come and seen our demo room, innovation and technology. I'm not underestimating what that does, by the way, but I'm just going to talk about people for now. There's the people room. Go find out a little bit more about what we do. We've got some incredible inspirational speakers for you tonight. So again, like I said, this is all about sharing and learning our experiences from each other. So I think my Master of Ceremonies is now looking at me to say, shut up. That's Yorkshire, by the way. Shut up. And are you going to say the rest when we go?
Do you want me to?
I would like to speak now. Yes, yeah. Thank you, everybody.